Hello, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, Prof, I've seen your
Yes, we
screen.
can see.
Yes, we
Okay,
can see your
thank you. Yeah, this session it's a very short one, very, very short. So we just quickly go through it. And then we can go and rest. Maybe tomorrow we can decide again whether we want to finish everything in the first session or whether we need this second session actually. Because it's possible to finish everything within the first session and then just go. But it depends on what you people would prefer. Okay? So in this session, we're going to be looking at occupational health and safety hazards. The content, just three: health and safety hazards, controlling physical hazards, and controlling health hazards. So like I said, it's a very short session. We just go through it and then we can discuss. So health and safety hazards. So in the context of occupational health and safety, in the context of occupational health and safety, health hazards refers to any agent, situation, or practice in the workplace that has the potential to cause illness, disease, or other adverse health effects to workers. Health hazards often lead to long-term or chronic health problems or acute effects that manifest over time due to exposure. So when we look at the definition of hazards, we said anything capable of causing harm. Not so? So, and when we are talking about health hazards, we refer to any agent, any situation, or practice in the workplace that has the potential to cause illness, disease, or other adverse health effects to workers. And this can lead to long-term or chronic health problems or acute effects that manifest over time due to exposure. You know, yesterday when we were talking, I did mention maybe, for example, people working in, say, an asbestos sheet producing company. Yes, they may be there, they are inhaling the asbestos dust, but they may not feel ill immediately. After a long time, they may come down with some form of cancer or the other. So that is why protection of the workers is very, very important. Safety hazards. Safety hazards refers to any condition, substance, or act in the workplace that has the potential to cause immediate physical harm, injury, or damage to property. So that is safety hazards. Unlike health hazards, which often lead to long-term illnesses, safety hazards typically result in acute, sudden events. So it could be acute because health hazards might take sometimes a long time to manifest, but safety hazards might just occur very suddenly, or somebody may become harmed very suddenly due to safety hazards, or when we are talking about safety hazards. So when we talk about health hazards, there are many possible health hazards, and they could be chemical, they could be physical, there could be ergonomic, there could be biological, and there could be psychosocial. I hope we are together.
Yes,
Are
sir.
we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you. Chemical hazards might be anything chemical that we may be exposed to in workplace, such as ink and pens, may cause irritation, maybe solvents, maybe asthmatic patients or asthmatic people could react to them, oil and lubricants, and this may cause maybe skin diseases. While physical hazards may be radiation, noise, drills. Radiation could cause cancer. Noise could cause hearing loss. I didn't appreciate particularly this noise until I became affected myself. Sometimes when we go for programs, say in churches, I don't know about whether, well, maybe in religious areas. In Nigeria, we are fond of, setting our public address system so high. One day I was invited for a wedding and I was chairman at the wedding. And they went and kept the seat of the chairman very close to the speaker. And they pitched the noise so high, the pitch was so high. And I was sitting there very uncomfortable, but being the seat they've kept for the chairman, I was bearing it rather than complaining. I bear the situation until the end of the program. When I came out from there, I just found out I was not hearing much. I was not hearing very well again. It took about 2 days before my hearing came back. But then it has almost caused a very big problem for me now that if you are whispering, I don't hear now. Since that time, you have to talk slightly loud for me to hear. So that's what noise can do. And that may be if you are walking, for instance, in a place where there's so high noise, it could eventually lead to hearing loss. Might not happen immediately, but may be gradual. So, and then during drillings, vibrations, okay, I'm not very sure I understand what these white fingers are, but we could check it up, okay? Then ergonomic talks about posture, poor posture. Maybe if you are walking in a place where you are sitting for so long and the chair may not be very good for sitting that long. If you are like me who bear a lot of things, you eventually have back pain or something. But it is always good to speak out. I think since that experience I was just sharing now, if I go anywhere now, in any function, and the speakers are pitched very high, I am asked to sit close to it, I say no, I cannot sit close to it. Sometimes if they insist, I walk out of the place. I stay outside because I know what effect that has had on me, what noise have had on me before. So if you are working in a place and the chair they give you is not very good, complain. tell them that you cannot sit in such a chair, that you need a good chair to be able to maintain a good posture. And then sometimes could be boredom due to repetitive work. It could be poor lighting. If you're working in a place and the lighting is poor, it might be affecting your eyes gradually. So it is important that workplace have good lighting so that it does not eventually lead to problem with your sight. And then the health hazard could be biological, bacterial infection, fungal infection, viruses, and all of that. While that we'll talk on so much. It could be psychosocial, work-life balance, where you are not able to balance work and life. And then that creates a lot of stress. When you're working and you're stressed, it's good to recognize it and to find a way out of it. If not, stress might eventually lead to some other health conditions that are unpleasant. And then sometimes it could be family problems. Sometimes it could be lifestyle, maybe smoking and things like that. Those are things that may eventually lead to health problems. When we talk about smoking lifestyle, well, I think I'm happy with Nigeria to a great extent because the federal government of Nigeria, over the years, have tried to maintain campaign against smoking, particularly smoking in public places. You know, if you are exposed to smoke, to people smoking around you, though you are not the person smoking, you are inhaling the same substances that they are inhaling, those who are smoking. And so I do know that in Nigeria, the federal government have maintained quite a lot of campaign against public smoking, and at some point, public smoking was banned. And that have really reduced a lot of stress that may be due to smoking around us. When I was much younger, smoking used to be rampant in this country. But I think since the federal government stood up against it, you hear things like smokers are going to die young. The cigarette packet, people who produce the cigarettes to write, and then the federal government warns against smoking and all of that, and the smoking is dangerous to health. And that has really helped out. And I hope and I pray that federal government will maintain that. But as individuals also, we need to be able to talk to people who are into this smoking business, that it does nothing to them. When I try to talk to some people, they will tell you, the smoking, it does, that they gain nothing from it. That is just an addiction. Why do you get addicted to something that will not be helpful? You know, when you go abroad, smoking is like rampant. I remember sitting in an airport one day and some people came and they sat around me and they just started smoking. I just got out of there. I just got out from there and I just say something. I say smokers are very unfair, and I just walked away. I just walked away. So sometimes it does happen, but then these are hazards that we're exposed to sometimes. So controlling physical hazards, there's this hierarchy of control of physical hazards. And the first or the most effective, we have from the least effective to the most effective on the left side. And then the hierarchy is developed. One, that the most effective is to eliminate, that is, physically remove the hazards. And then the second is to substitute, that is, replace the hazard. The third is what we call engineering controls, that is, isolate people from the hazard. And then administrative control, these are least effective, change the way people work. And then the last is protective, personal protective equipment. Protect the worker with personal protective equipment. Well, these are the least effective when it comes to hierarchy of control. So we'll just say a bit more things on this. When we say elimination and substitution, elimination and substitution, while most effective at reducing hazards, also tend to be the most difficult to implement in an existing process. If the process is still at the design or development stage, elimination and substitution of hazards may be inexpensive and simple to implement. For an existing process, major changes in equipment and procedure may be required to eliminate or substitute a hazard. And sometimes this is a bit difficult. I hope we are together.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Prof.
Thank you. Thank you. So engineering control. So engineering controls are favored over administrative and personal protective equipment for controlling existing workers or worker exposures in the workplace because they are designed to remove the hazard at the source before it comes in contact with the worker. So if engineering control, we say isolating people from the hazards. So if you can design the system in such a way that the people are separated from the hazards, then they are kept from it entirely so that you don't even have to do any other thing. Well-designed engineering controls can be highly effective in protecting workers and will typically be independent of worker interactions to provide this high level of protection. The initial cost of engineering control can be higher than the cost of administrative control or PPE, but over the long term, operating costs are frequently lower and in some instances can provide a cost saving in other areas of the process. So the other one is administrative control and personal protective equipment, which are actually the two lowest ones. Administrative control and personal protective equipment are frequently used with existing processes where hazards are not particularly well controlled. Administrative control and personal protective equipment programs may be relatively inexpensive to establish, but over the long term can be very costly to sustain. These methods for protecting workers have also proven to be less effective sometimes. Okay, so please let me just, we'll need to discuss this, but let me just go through, just note your questions, okay? So that when I finish, we can then take the questions and then this general discussions on them. I think we'll learn better that way, okay? So controlling health hazards. This is a circle for steps of transitioning to safer chemicals. So when we're talking about physically remove the hazards, one of the ways to physically remove hazards is to maybe transit from toxic chemicals to more safer chemicals. And this is a circle of the control. One is taking inventory and prioritization. So you take inventory of all chemical likely used, and then identify. That is, you take inventory, you identify, and then you assess and compare. Then you select, then you test, you evaluate, and then you engage. So this is the control circle for chemical transiting to safer chemicals. And then controlling health hazards also goes through the same hierarchy: eliminate, substitute, engineering control, administrative, and personal protective equipment. And so, how do I say eliminate? Physically remove the health hazards. For example, stop using toxic chemical. Redesign process to remove repetitive motion. So you must have helped in reducing hazards. Maybe let me just add here that, though not in the slide, things like maybe removing damaged electrical wiring instead of repairing. While this might not be health hazard, but physical hazards, okay? So I didn't say that when I was talking about, but it's the same hierarchy of eliminating the hazards. And then we could have something like automating a manual chemical mixing process so workers cannot be exposed. So those are ways to physically or removing or eliminating the hazard. And then substitution. Replace the health hazard with a less replace the hazard with a less hazardous one. For example, use a less toxic chemical, quieter machine, less vibrating tools. So these are substitution. And then engineering control. Isolate people from the health hazards or control it at the source. For example, ventilation systems, enclosures, adjustable workstations, mechanical aids, and things like that. And then we have administrative control. Change the way people work to reduce exposure to the health hazards. For example, safe work procedures, job rotation, work race schedule, and training. And then PPE, protect the worker with personal protective equipment. For example, respirators, chemical-resistant gloves, air plugs, anti-vibration gloves, and all of that. That is where the hazards cannot be controlled by the other control systems in the hierarchy. Okay? So that's actually the end of this session. I'm giving you an assignment, an assessment question, which you have to work on and submit by Friday. Okay? The question is, discuss the importance of safety culture, safety communication, and safety audits in preventing workplace accidents. Explain the roles of the safety officer and line manager in promoting workplace safety in an organization. Okay? I
Yes,
have,
sir.
yeah, I
Yes,
have,
sir. Yes, sir. We hear you, sir.
Yes, I have sent this question together with a marking guide. I sent the marking guide to help you people um, appreciate the depths of what I would like to see. Okay? So when you are writing, look through the marking guide and make sure that you are able to be able to give the required details. Initially, I didn't want to give the marking guide, but I also felt if you don't know the marking guide and you just write simply, many of you might be losing so much marks. It's like giving you the marking scheme for an exam, but this is an open exam, okay? So since it is an open exam, I've also given you the marking guide. I've sent them to Miss Joy because I wanted to post it in your platform and I noticed that only the admin can post in there. So I've posted it to her and she will send it to you. The question is here, the question and the marking guide have been sent. So work on it and submit by Friday. I'm expecting you submit both to me and to Mark Sam, because if I don't have time, I'll ask him to collate them and to mark it. Okay? So please submit to Mark Sam and put me in copy. Is that okay?
Hello, sir.
Okay, Prof.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
So,
Hello,
yes.
sir.
Hello.
Hello, Prof.
Hello,
sir.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing
Please,
you.
I just want to appeal. I don't know whether you extend it to next week for us to submit. I've just an appeal. The time
Why
for
do you
us to
need
work
it
on
to
it, I don't
next
know,
week?
it's a reset thing, so I don't know. So that we can work better on it. We could have other ones we're doing. So that's why. Hello.
Yeah, the problem is this having other ones that you are doing. Next week, you also have other ones that you work on. So how are you going to manage that?
Oh, we are free next week, sir. I think this is the last course we have. If
Or
I'm
is
not
this the
mistaken.
last course?
I think so. If I'm not mistaken. I
I
don't know
don't know.
anyway.
I don't know. I've not checked the timetable. I only check my own involvement.
Sir, this is the last week, sir. He's correct, sir.
This is
Okay,
the
it's
last.
correct.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
you
sir.
can have up to Monday then to submit.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay,
Thank you,
Prof.
sir.
Yeah, you can.
Sir,
Hello,
Yeah.
we
Prof.
live with WhatsApp or
Okay.
email.
Hey,
I don't understand.
Please, you send to the email. It's better to have it in the email.
Prof.
It's
Hello, Prof.
the mail.
Hello?
Hello, Prof.
Yeah,
Sorry, I want to know if it's in PowerPoint or Word. In Word, I don't know. Is it MS Word, sir, or PowerPoint?
No, I was given the assignment not with a mind of PowerPoint because I'm not thinking we may be able to do presentations.
Okay.
Okay, if
Okay.
we are not presenting it, you just do it in words and submit.
It's
How many
okay.
pages,
Just
sir?
make sure you follow the marking or the marking guide to
Guys.
make
It's
sure
okay.
that
Thank you,
all
Prof.
the critical things that one wants to see
How many
are
pages, sir?
in there.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Thank
you. So that will form
Sir,
your
please,
assessment.
sir, can we have the email address so that we can?
There is in my it's in this. You can if you go to they are in all the document. I think they are sending this document to you, no? So are they
Okay.
normally give you the documents?
They
Yes,
Or
normally
is just
sir.
the
They
recording?
normally give
Yes,
us, sir.
Huh?
they normally forward
Yes,
the
sir.
Yes.
And
material.
so you can see the emails. They are my email and that of Maxam.
Okay, sir.
I've just gone to
Noted.
the first
Yes.
all the sessions. We try to put them there all. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So you always if you have this material, you can always see the emails there. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Prof.
Thank you.
God
So
Okay,
we
bless
sir.
now
you.
The
can
last one.
discuss. Yeah, we can
Hello, sir.
discuss. Hello.
Yes, I want to know the number of pages that you're expecting.
Thank you, man.
No, I don't know the number of pages.
Okay, as many as we can.
Assignment, they give you assignment, go and do it.
Yeah, if you want to write 100 pages, please go ahead and write.
That's it.
You hear, Ba?
Take it, sir.
If you can write 100 pages, just go ahead and write.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
But don't write useless things, or write reasonable things. That when somebody is reading, it will not be just volume without information. You know, there are times when sometimes you are reading things, you don't get information. It's just a volume of work.
Yes.
So
Thank you so much,
as
Prof.
effective as you can. Thank you. Well, just follow the marking guide that I put there. Once you get it. Thank you. So can we discuss this now? We just discuss briefly, then we'll close for the day. That's why I was saying that I had to do this second session because yesterday some people who did not attend the first session logged on for the second session. And when I was contacted, I told them we're already finished. They say it's likely the people who didn't attend the first session that were joining. So, but we can agree tomorrow whether we want to just take all the sessions at once, whether we want to break and come back at 1. Okay? So we can discuss the safety.
So it's better we take them at once in the morning so that we
Yes,
can do other things.
So that we can do other things, sir.
Well,
yes.
it all
I think
depends
that is
on
better.
you. It
Yes,
depends
that
on
is
you.
better.
Yeah,
Taking at once is better.
that's fine. Yeah, because I would have finished and gone to other things, but I had to take a break now, and the break to me was not effective because I couldn't go into major something. I just kept doing one thing or the other. Then I discovered it was 1 o'clock. So, so any question or contribution on this control of health hazards or health hazards? We say occupational health and safety hazards and how to control them. So we've looked at definition of health hazard, definition of safety hazards. We've looked at possible health hazards, chemical, physical, ergonomic, biological, and psychosocial. We looked at safety hazards, chemical, physical, ergonomic, and then we looked at hierarchy of control for health and safety hazards. So basically that is what we have done this afternoon. So can we discuss now? There are things you want more clarifications.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Hello?
Hello, Prof.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I would like to know that acronym WRULD in that repetitive stuff under ergonomic. I don't know whether you can just, I don't want to know the full meaning. WRULD also.
Let me try and find out. Meanwhile, it went off my mind.
Okay, sir.
Wait, I'll find out now. Let me just try. Let me just go to. Let me just find out from either Google or so.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Let me just find out.
Okay, sir.
I'll get back to you now. Let me just check Chrome and see if I can get. Where is that place safe? I saw it.
On ergonomic, under
Yeah,
the
ergonomic.
Yes, repetitive also.
Yeah. Okay, that is I'm trying. I saw it.
Okay, yes.
Work related. Yeah, work
health.
related something like that. Let me just try and get it.
Okay, sir.
No, I've done this for a long time now. I've not taught this course for some time now.
Okay, sir. ULD.
Work-related upper limb disorders. Did you get it?
Yes, I do, sir. That's okay, sir.
Work-related upper limb disorder.
Okay, sir.
Work-related upper limb disorder.
Okay, sir. I get that, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Work-related upper limb disorder. Thank you. Any other question? So now can we take contribution? So we have talked on a number of possible hazards. If you are working in a very noisy environment, for instance, how will you handle that? Let's discuss. Someone wants to contribute?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is that Abu?
Okay. No,
Yes, sir.
Agatha. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, Agatha. Yes, Agatha, go ahead. Well, after Agatha, we can take Abu.
Okay, sir. Sir, if you're working in a noisy environment, usually there's an ear muffler that they use. Actually, your employer is supposed to provide that. And when it's not provided, for your own safety, it is better you have one you buy one for yourself, because except you don't want to keep the job, because I have seen somebody who's after the day's job had bleeding from the ear, and the hospital said that whether the eardrum broke because of excessive sound or something like that, and that particular ear, he suffered deafness in that particular ear, and it was not reversible. So I believe it's your duty as a person to protect yourself. Even if your employee is not protecting, you should protect. You owe yourself the responsibility. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank God that my own experience that I shared didn't lead to bleeding. I'm hearing this for the first time, that noise could cause bleeding in the ear. You can imagine how serious that is? Imagine how serious that is. That is sound. The energy could break your eardrum and you could bleed and lose hearing. That's why this noise matter. We need to take it very serious. When I go to church these days, I don't sit close to speakers. And if the ushers say I must go close to a speaker, I tell them, and I cannot get, I walk, I just get out. There are some times when the noise or when singing and the beating becomes so high, I even try to walk out and stay outside until it finishes before I come inside, because I know what that has done to my ears. So please, I'm happy to hear about this ear muffler. Is it ear muffler you said, Agatha?
Yes, sir.
Where can we get it?
From people that sell safety equipment for engineering works.
Okay. So at least everyone in the class is hearing that, bar. We're about 19 now. So please, let's try and protect ourselves. Naturally, the workplace are supposed to provide, but where they don't provide, please protect yourself as she advised. Thank you. Can we take Livinus now, Abu?
Okay, sir. She almost said everything I wanted saying. You are supposed to be protected with protect your ear. Your company or where you're working is supposed to provide you with something that will cover your ear from the sound entering directly into your ear. And if they don't, you as a worker should make available what is available for you to protect your ear. Because if you damage that ear, you will be replaced the next day, not even 2 days.
You will be replaced, and that is it. So please, let's take precautions. And then there are times when these people doing welding, sometimes they will be doing that without covering their eyes. And that sharp light is entering their eyes. They may not even feel it now, but they may be damaging their sight eventually. So these small things, or these things are very important that we take note of them, and we insist that we are protected whenever we are in a workplace. Thank you, Livinus. Can we hear from Peter?
Yes, Prof. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. At times, all these factory workers, normally there's a lot of noise in the factory because of all this engine and other things. So that in order for the noise not to penetrate into the ear, like this muffler she just said now, very, very important. It's what they use to protect their ears from noise getting into the ears, to reduce, because at times if this noise enter, it affects the eardrums. So it will not make you to, like the way you said, you must, there must echo it loud for you to hear. So that is how it is.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we hear from Adebowale?
Okay,
Adebowale.
sir. Yes, I can hear you, sir. Afternoon, sir. Yeah, I think also in addition to the usage of the air muffler, earpiece, and the rest, they can also limit, or let me say rotate, have it as rotational shifts for duty in such areas, such noisy area. You have to limit the time of exposure also, whereby they run shifts for a person to stay in this kind of particular noisy, dangerous area. Just have to say for a limited number of time, then you move out of that place, then another person comes in. By so doing also can help reduce the risks.
So thank you for that contribution.
Hello, Prof.
Reduce. Hello.
Hello, Prof.
Hello, I'm hearing you.
I want to ask, sorry, I say because of this noise pollution and its consequent, the hazards, is there any permissible noise like in decibel that controllable, that can guide us, the noise? Can it be controlled, in form of decibel or something, a permissible one within an environment because of its hazard?
Well, I don't know. I don't know really. I've not. There should be for every of these things there are standards. Maybe if we check WHO standards, it's possible to see, but I've not checked that. Okay. But I want to say that the most important thing at this stage is not a standard set, so to say, because your ear and yourself should actually be the standard itself. Your ear should give the standard. Whenever noise is going too high, your ears will tell you that the noise is high. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because when you enter maybe a place where people are playing music and they put a speaker and they pitch it high, you know how it affects your ears now. And the advice I am giving is to try as much as possible to minimize staying in such environment.
Okay,
where
sir.
it is your workplace, we have seen the suggestions that have been brought here. I'm happy to hear about this ear muffler. I never even thought about it before. Although one time I put one like that, one of my friends, he said the neighbors were making so much noise. So he went to buy something to put in his ears to protect his ears from so that he will be able to sleep. When I said, okay, let me just try it, I was breathing and the noise of my breathing coming to my ears was also a noise to me. Okay, so I was wondering, unless I get used to it, that I might not be able to even keep that thing in and be sleeping. But whichever one is better, it's better to protect your ears from external noise, because that will be a more bearable one, as it will not be damaging to your eardrum, so to say. So can we hear from Balogun, Bankole?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. It's just in response to the last speaker that asked about the decibel of noise. I think naturally, or the level that is most acceptable for every ear is less than 70 decibel.
Less than
However, the 70
70?
decibel, sir.
Okay,
Then
less than
it's now
70
depending on 70 decibel. Is
Okay, sir.
anything
decibels.
below 70 is okay. Then it
Okay.
now depends on the timing also. Daytime, there's a level that you can get. Why at night, for you to have a proper rest, there's a level of decibel that you should have. If not, it can lead to different kind of sicknesses, apart from loss of hearing. Some people develop heart palpitation because of chronic noise. Probably the environment they find themselves every day, they are subjected to noise. So they develop other sicknesses apart from hearing loss. So we should take note of that one. Then when we talk about using of earplug, earmuff, muffler, and others, is also relative to the environment where we work. Because if I'm working probably in a weather workshop where we are only using a cutting disc, maybe some kind of earplug can suffice. But if I'm working in an environment, let's say maybe where you have a machine that is producing up to like 120, 100 decibel, ordinary earplug will not work. Even some of the ear muffler that they are selling in the market will not work. So when you are selecting hair muffler also, you should look at the environment. They have of different level of grade of hair muffler based on the area or based on the exposure. So one of the ways to really prevent the maybe hazard related to noise is by application of administrative control. That is
Yeah.
where you make the staffs to be on rotational work, they are on shift. If you are exposed, probably you can say they are on 6 hours, so that you know that, okay, maybe 6 hours, and maybe you are on 2 days on and 1 day off or 2 days off. The possibility of you developing a sickness or having that symptom of hearing loss will be different from someone who every day is exposed to that same noise. So I think we should take note of our environment. Then it's possible for, I don't know whether there are some factory, if they can get noise measuring equipment, you can check what is the decibel of the noise in your environment. Then you'll be able to know which kind of approach you can take to limit it, especially for the staffs. Then lastly, sir, one thing that I want to really say, since we are doing something about environmental sustainability, this thing goes beyond even we that we are working in a factory. What about people that we come in contact with that they are working in an environment like that? I think we should also make impact on them. Because where I work, I'm exposed to noise. However, anywhere I am, either you will see the air muffler or you will see the air plug in my pocket. So the same thing, anytime I come across any factory or any setup where there are noises, I call the attention of the people working there, because most of these people, they don't even understand this thing. And since loss of hearing will not just happen one day, they may not really know what they are into until 10 years, 15 years. After they have already forgotten that they work in such an environment, then the thing will develop and they will start spending money. So please, I will indulge us. Anytime we find ourselves in an environment like that, we should also tell them. And if possible, people that are not working directly on that machine, if they don't have anything to do there, let them just leave the environment so that later in life, they will not regret that they even work at all. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Bankole. You see, I've learned so much. I've learned so much from this class, and I'm very happy with that. I think all of us have learned from this discussion. Also, hello.
Yes.
I think we have
I
learned
saw.
from the discussion. Yes, I've learned
Yes,
a
Yes,
sir.
I've
lot,
learned
and I'm happy. You
a
know,
lot.
this less than 70 decibels, I didn't know, but at least I've learned it today that we could measure noise and all of that. So I think one of the things Bankole said that is very instructive is that we are becoming agents of change. So if you go somewhere, you see people are exposed and they don't know, just educate them. Tell them what to do so that in the next 10, 15 years, when they might have even left that work, they don't just go and start having problem. And I also learned that apart from damage to eardrum, that exposure to extreme noise could lead to heart palpitation and some other ailments that we may not even the doctors may not even relate to those kind of things. And so I'm happy that we have this opportunity to learn these things. And as much as possible, let's be helpful to the society wherever we find ourselves. Thank you very much. Is there any other contribution? If not, we'll just close from here. It's been a short but very impactful session. Like I said, I've learned quite a lot myself, and I'm happy when we openly share knowledge. That is the whole essence of what we are doing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prof.
sir.
Yeah. So
God
have
bless
a
you.
pleasant remaining part of the day and pleasant evening and pleasant night.
And
Thank
you
And
you,
too.
that
Prof.
to your families. Thank you.
You too, Prof.
And you
Thank
too,
you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Thank you.